What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this one, I'm going to be continuing to show you how to make Poppy Playtime Chapter 2 in Minecraft. This is part 7, and in this one, we're going to be doing this entire room, along with the suspicious hallway here on the right, which I'll try to show here. There it is. And we will also lay out the beginning of the power room over here. My bad, I can't call it electrical because it's not electrical, and this isn't Among Us. Anyway, with that being said, enjoy the tutorial, and I will catch you on the flip side. Alrighty, so at this point you should have this much of your build done, and if you are correct, you should have the slide from the end of last part, or alternatively a teleporter which will lead you to the next area. It is advised you at least make kind of the slide. I know that is kind of dumb to say now, but just so we have something to build off of to start the next area. Speaking of the next area, you want to start by getting out stripped, warped, hyphae. Why did I open the stone category when that's not what I needed? Whatever. Warped planks. Warp stairs, warp slab, smooth course blocks, and then you need the three lads: cyan concrete, red concrete, and yellow terracotta. And I guess we'll go. What will we go with? Actually, it's an interesting situation. Andesite stairs, I guess. Seems reasonable enough. So we're going to start from the side here, and I just want to make sure that I have the right amount of slabs here. You should have, if you are correct here, 4 upside down warp slabs here. So I see 1, 2, 3, 4, which is correct. So we can kind of work from here. I would recommend just placing a warp plank on either bottom corner so you have this. Extend the bottom middle warp plank towards you with a warp stair, and then extend that stair both left and right with a plank. Extend that plank on either side up with a stair like so. And that will be your slide. Now, below this will be your floor. We didn't get out polished diorite. Why do I always do that? Whatever, it's fine. We'll make all the slides and then we can get rid of the warp stuff, except for the planks we'll need. But yeah, that'll just, I think, help us. So both left of this, you will place, going, well, left, a cyan concrete, yellow terracotta, warped plank, warp stair, warped plank, cyan concrete, red concrete, warped plank, warped stair, warped plank, yellow terracotta. And then going right of it, you'll place a red concrete, cyan concrete, warped plank, and then stair, and then plank again. Yellow terracotta, red concrete, the funny warped plank, stair, plank, and then you'll end with a yellow terracotta again. So you should have this. I don't know why there's more yellow than anything else, but that's beyond me. So each of these little things are being made the same as the center one. Obviously you won't have an entire slide, and I don't know how these are so close together now that I'm considering it, but I really don't think that's my problem to think about. Essentially, you just want to make this, and you want to go a few blocks in when you do it. So I'll take these planks here and just place a stair on top of each, and then I'll place the row of planks behind with the upside down slab. And I would say, like, really that's all you need to do. Like, you don't need to go any further than that. Maybe if you wanted to go one further, you could, but I didn't on the original, so I won't here either. Hopefully everyone is having a good day or night anyway. I am for the most part. Such a weird way to start a room. See, you should end up with this. Get rid of both the warp stairs and warp slabs and get out polished diorite. And, back to this debate. I really don't know. I guess pale oak doors makes kind of the most sense. I'm not sure. So from this point, you will take each of the yellow terracottas, red concretes, or cyan concretes, and extend them up by 4. Just like this. And then that will give us some archways, almost. It'll give us the lines for the archways. And then I'll have to give you the colors, too. You should have this. Starting from the left, you want to take the first set, which is the yellow terracotta and this red concrete. You are ignoring rather the cyan concrete pillar here. You're just taking the kind of 2 block either side and placing a cyan on top. Extend the cyan in by 1, and then place a full row of cyan concrete on top that will also include the center like so. You're doing that over each of them. Now, they're obviously all different. The next one, essentially, I guess, between each of them, it is the one block that was not used. So, this next one, you see it's a cyan concrete and a yellow terracotta, so it'll be red concrete of the little 5 like so. Next is cyan and red, so it'll be yellow that you use, which is the one you came down. Next you have cyan and yellow, so you use red. Next is red and yellow, so you use cyan. So it's really just 2 full rows, but the bottom row is missing the center block. Like so. Up diagonally, like away from us from that, I guess back, you'll place a row of yellow terracotta above these. Which should look like this. Below that row of yellow terracotta, you'll just place smooth quartz blocks until you connect down into the kind of tops of these slides here. And that is one wall. Done. I would advise underneath this entire thing to place a row of polished diorite, so then we can essentially use this to our advantage. It may also be probably advised to extend it left and right an additional 1, because we just want something to build off of here. You'll see why fairly quickly. You'll go out from this with 19 full rows of polished diorite. So 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And I'll just box this off. And do I want to slash fill this? Yeah, I feel like a little bit more progress in the same amount of time will always be ideal. So yeah, we're gonna keep that one going, you know. If you want, now may also be a good time to texture your floor, although we do not have light blue concrete, so I guess do just keep that one in mind. But it might not be a bad idea. I'll talk about it again later, but because there's also stone buttons we have to add, which are just like everywhere. I don't know why. Also carpet. So anyway, at the left and the right, you want to just place something on this corner of polished diorite right here. I'm going to place a full row of warped planks, so I know that this isn't part of it. Actually, let's place a little row of 2. Because if we go all the way up, it'll be visible. But anyway, going like out from that, so I guess away from this wall along the polished diorite, you'll place a row of, on either side you're doing the same, a row of 2 stripped warped hyphae facing up, a row of 1, a row of 2, a row of 1, and then a row of 2, and that's all we'll do for now. You'll place a warped plank in kind of the on top of the one singular warped hyphae, so that it creates a perfect rectangle. This is just unfortunate. My inventory management is on the charts, which is not good. We'll start with the right side here because they are a little bit different. You will go forward from this and place 2... do we want to place it in the wall? I don't actually think it matters yet, because that wall's double layered anyway. So we will place 2 red concrete. And then leave a gap of 4 and place 2 more red concrete. Then from there you can end up placing... It should be 6 strip warp hyphae and you'll be on the corner. Except I'd make this corner not a strip warp hyphae. I'd make it a warp plank or something again. If you want the pattern to bring that up with now, the first one is a stripped warped hyphae. And so is the last one. So this is symmetrical, actually, on... Is it symmetrical on both sides? It is. That's cool. You'll take the rows of red concrete and extend them towards you by 1, and then up from there by 7. Oh, God. And it should be at the kind of height of the yellow terracotta that we placed above the arches at on the front wall of the room. Or I guess the back wall, one of the two. We're getting dangerously close to the game station, guys. Oh no, I'm getting scared. I don't know about you, but... Anyway, for the other wall, we're doing a fairly similar thing, just not at all. From this side behind the pattern, you'll place 2 yellow terracotta. Gap of 4, 2 yellow terracotta, and then you'll do the same thing with the 5 stripped warp hyphae and the placeholder on the corner. The placeholder in the corner will be important more so in a second for this part particularly. But again, it is the same on this side, where the stripped warp hyphae is every other block, and then the warp is the remaining. This doesn't actually quite line up properly. If you were to drag this through, you would notice that, that's not how that lines up. just ignore that. It looks better this way. Plus, I don't think it would have lined up anyway. But since they're both messed up, it's not a huge deal. It's just, I think it made more sense to do it this way. Anyway, you'll take the yellow and extend it towards you again. And this time I would maybe do both rows? No, I wouldn't do both rows, actually. I lied. I would actually maybe destroy the original row. But you'll take the yellow on either side and extend it up with 2 rows of yellow and then 3 rows of red. Connect the top row of red across the top here, and then in each top corner, you'll place another red moving down. On top of that, you also want a row of cyan concrete. From the back wall, you'll take the warp plank on either side, and you'll go in with, what do we say here? I don't know the number off the top of my head. I'm going to say 8 strip warp parfait. All facing upward, which is why we have the floor this far back. And that should leave you with a lot of blocks in the center. This one is in fact 2 blocks wide, so you will place 2 yellow terracotta moving in from either side, and that will leave you with 5 in the middle. The game station does have a 1 block center, which I guess is ideal. I don't really know. I mean, it works, so who cares? Anyway, you'll do the same thing with the stripped warp parfait. This time from the outside, it's a warped plank to start. This is why we left this corner open, because the pattern will continue along for the, like, kind of back to the wall, side walls here, and then the actual back wall. And you should end with a strip warp parfait just before the yellow terracotta. Like so. Extend the yellow terracotta towards you a row, and all, I guess 8 rows in total, or 8 blocks, will be brought up the same. You'll start by going up with 3 yellow terracotta per block. And then 3 red concrete. Connect the top row of red across the top again. And then place an additional red concrete in each top corner. Yet again, you want a row of cyan concrete on top, but if you do note this one, it is taller than the door on the other side, and it's also the same height as the yellow terracotta and the red pillars on the left. In that doorway, out of the 2 rows, it'll be the row furthest back, which is this row. You'll just place 2 rows of andesite stairs at the top. The one on the right is only 1 block thick anyway, but you're placing andesite stairs in every row, but the bottom one you are leaving open so you can peek under and see the true horrors that took place behind this door. I really don't want to have answers because I feel like they would scare me. It's time for another pattern. Everybody's favorite. So, this one should be fairly familiar. You want to essentially trace the top of the walls going all the way around, and you can just essentially take the yellow on either side and extend it out with a red concrete, and then just, follow the ground from there. But you want to just, have it trace the tops of the walls. We're doing this before we fill up the walls for a reason, and it will connect to the doorway at the top here, along with the red concrete pillars. It's not really a huge deal. You do just want to keep that in mind as we're doing the next part. The first 2 red concrete that are actually, well, I guess the first 3 that are visible, but it'll be the first 2 you can actually place something below that will be visible. You'll place red concrete below on either side. It's a really weird explanation, but it should give you this, essentially. And then it's a pattern of 3. So it's 3 red concrete, 3 smooth quartz, 3 red concrete, 3 smooth quartz, 3 red concrete, etc. I would go behind doorways and stuff. Like this one here, I would just kind of continue it across. But on that side, you will have the red pillars, which are actually part of the rows of 3, so it doesn't really matter anyway. And make sure you leave these corners open and you're not including them in the rows of 3. And you should end with a row of 3 red concrete on either side from the doorway in the center. But yeah, it looks like this. Again, it doesn't line up in the center. Actually, it might. Would it? No, it would line up in the center. Huh, interesting. So ignore that then. But yeah, you should end up with this. The rest of the walls are smooth quartz blocks. Now, when you're filling in the wall here on the left side between the red concrete pillars, you want to fully leave the bottom row open. And on the left and right, if you're looking at it, it'll be smooth quartz just above that. However, in the center, you'll leave the bottom 2 open, so you essentially have like a top hat almost kind of shape. Just filling in. There will be doors here, but we do not quite have the light blue concrete to place at the bottom there. We'll get that out probably next for another step anyway. But yeah, all these sidewalls are just smooth quartz between these stripped warped and the red slash already smooth quartz. And yeah, we'll pretty much have this room like marked out. We're not going to worry about the hallway on the right just yet. That one's a little bit weird, and it actually doesn't have a ceiling. Fun fact. I mean, it does, but it doesn't have a proper one. Because you can't see that anyway, so I just made it black concrete. And I think I also made the back wall black concrete. I always switch black and back, and I don't know why. I guess if they're both, like, being said in the same sentence, it just, in my brain, is like, yep, nope, you're gonna reverse them. Anyway, you should end up with this. Now, you can fill in the ceiling a block above the height of the walls with stripped warped hyphae facing left to right. Again, I am going to slash fill this. If you are not slash filling, I would just pause and chill or whatever. It's not really too bad, just the side to side does make it a little bit more annoying to place, but it is what it is. Wait, what is this? It's X. So if you are doing slash fill like I am, you just want the coordinate stuff. I'm not going to go over that. However, stripped warped underscore hyphae, you'll put in brackets. You'll see essentially on the bottom left, it says pillar axis whenever I type bracket. I can just hit tab actually, and it'll put that in, and then space equals space, and then it'll be in quotations, either X or Z. I think it was X. That's cool. I forgot to close my bracket. Yeah, it was X, so it'll face left to right. So the walls of the room done. Again, it might be advised to texture everything now. Before I talk about that, though, I want to place the pale oak doors. They are just where this doorway will be on the left side, and it's essentially, if you kind of stand in the middle here, you'll have the pale oak door coming off of essentially where this gap of a block is, and the handle should face towards the middle. Obviously, they can't close because they're not on the right block to do so, but it'll look like this. Now, texturing. I guess we can clear inventory, although we'll need a couple blocks again, but that's fine. For texturing, you need calcite, and obviously the same old red and light blue concrete, along with yellow terracotta. In addition, you need netherrack, and for the more so important part, you'll need stone buttons and white carpet. So again, the floor is the same, it's just the kind of dots of red concrete, light blue, and yellow terracotta. If you are, like, particularly caring still, the game has them more, like, bunched together. I think I've probably said that already, I don't know, I forget when I record sometimes. But if you want to make them more bunched, that's absolutely fine. Or if you just don't care and are doing what I'm doing, that works too. It really doesn't matter. It's all up to your own interpretation. I would definitely put in more effort than I am right now, though, because, yeah. This will also prepare you for the texturing later, because, oh boy, this pattern does not go away, apparently. Although it just becomes more blocks. I think I use 4, if I'm correct, on what I'm thinking of right now. But it's just something like this. Obviously, you should maybe have more, but that's besides the point. For the tops of the walls, we're leaving the yellow terracotta here alone on the front wall, that's fine. The smooth quartz, you'll kind of have the same droopy pattern where you're replacing it with calcite in areas. Now, you'll notice you have red concrete above that, so in place of that, you're using netherrack. If you don't like the look of the netherrack, that's fine. I just thought it looked pretty much accurate. Although it is up to you, and again, just like, go as far down as you want, or don't do anything at all, it really depends. But it should look something like that, really. Maybe some more calcite in there, you know? I don't know. It's up to you. It's a lot of your own interpretation. Whether or not you like my block palette even is completely up to you. Although I do continue to use netherrack throughout this build. That one does stay consistent. I know I sometimes have problems with that, but there are a lot of different texturings going on in this for sure. You'll see later there's kind of a ridiculous one in a room I just made, actually, in the build itself. It's kind of absurd. It has like 3 different layers of texturing. It's a little bit ridiculous, but anyway. This is hard to explain, but I'm just going to kind of say, you want essentially trails of stone buttons connecting the middle slide that you came down to the electrical door, and from that electrical or power room door to the door back here, and then from that one over to the door on the right. So it's essentially like a diamond shape, except you're just missing the last connection. So I'll kind of show you the rough path that I mean here. just kind of something like this, essentially. But you want to have a abundance of the buttons in a fairly thin path. The pathway between the power door and the game station door is a little bit thicker, which is like this pathway right here. I have a little bit more kind of spaced out buttons, but the other two are just kind of like a thin line of them almost. Like this. I'd say that looks pretty accurate. And I don't really have much in the center. I do have like a button here though. And yeah. And then in the front left-hand corner of the room in front of this slide, we have some white carpet on the floor, which are the letters from the thing. I won't give you the block for block, but I will place them block for block. You essentially just want like a random pattern of them like this. And it will get fairly close to the buttons, that's fine. But I have this pattern of the carpets. It doesn't have to be the same, just has to be roughly in that kind of area. Also, one thing I forgot to mention with the calcite, you should also probably put it underneath the, like, smooth quartz here, just having a little bit of it. You don't need a ton, just like, you know, something like, something like this or something. A lot of it will be blocked off anyway, but... Speaking of blocked off, actually get out black concrete before we move on to the next segment. And just each of the slides you should probably black off, except for obviously the one that you came down, because, well, you kind of came down it, you know? But all these are just going to be blacked off. You can pull them further and even have them, like, go up if you want, or have them, like, branch out. I think it would be cool to create a path through, and you can 100% make some more rooms out of that. Like, you can make a bunch of offices, or even have this one connect somewhere else as well. Because I feel like reasonably it should connect somewhere else. I don't think that they had a giant hole in the floor. Although I guess that could have been like where it was, and that for some reason somebody just decided to take like a crane and was like, yeah, I'm just gonna take out this floor real quick. Anyway, you can clear your inventory from there and we can start the next part. You want to get out the concrete. So red concrete, yellow concrete, light blue concrete, along with the yellow terracotta. Mangrove slabs, smooth quartz slabs, everyone's favorite prismarine brick slabs, known best block, bamboo fence, and you'll need a structure void. /give add a structure void. Although I won't tell this many more times because again you should just keep it in your inventory or just run around and find it one to structure or to block pick rather. Although I'll probably say at beginning at each segment because you know that will be probably a good amount of time between, although not too much. I'm not gonna wait like 4 years. Anyway, head to the back right hand corner of this room and you want to start on this polished die right here. You'll count 4 diagonally left by 1 and place 2 yellow terracotta moving up. Extend that left a row and then that entire 2x2 forward a row. To the left of this, you want to place a 2x2x2 cube of red concrete that is shifted back an additional block. It should be right there. From the back left-hand yellow and the front right-hand red, you'll place 2 light blue concrete on top of either, and then you'll just extend it back a row to connect to the wall. Just little cubes. There's some on the other side, which we'll worry about in a little bit. We're not going to quite do them yet. On the wall here, there is a poster. If you should have 4 smooth quartz essentially between the light blue cube and the game station doorway. You will break the middle 2 at both rows of the cube, funnily enough, and you'll fill the left half in with light blue concrete. The right half is a yellow concrete on the bottom and a red concrete on the top. Let's do the game station logo thing. So, from either red concrete kind of corner in the top of the door to make it a little bit more of an arch shape, you'll place an upside down prismarine brick slab off each red. Extend each of those up with a prismarine brick slab like so, and then you'll connect the upside down ones specifically together. On top of the upside down ones, you want yellow concrete, which will also connect the regular slabs together. And then on top of the leftmost yellow, you'll place a bamboo fence with a structure void to the right to just kind of create the smoke effect a little bit. It's not exactly perfect. You could use a yellow stained glass paint if you wanted, but I didn't want something see-through like that. Although there's my beautiful train. I put so much effort into that, as you can tell. Anyway, in the back left-hand corner of the room, you want to start from this block here, and you want to count forward by 2 and right by 1, and going up, you will place 4 light blue concrete. Extend this row forward to the right by 1, and then either of those rows forward by 2. Or forward by 1, excuse me. Each of those blocks forward by 1? Something like that. From the back right-hand corner of this little pillar, you'll count right by 2 and place 2 yellow terracotta, and then extend either one back by 1. Place an additional row of yellow terracotta on top, and then 2 rows of red concrete on top of that. These are actually 4 2 by 2 by 2 cubes again. This is just 2 on top of each other that are the same color. We can finally fill in the thing on the left wall. Below the smooth quartz on either side, you want a light blue concrete to fill in this wall, finally. It took us long enough. A block above the open doorway, you'll place yellow concrete, and if you're looking at it, the left yellow can be brought up by 1. Take the bottom left yellow and place an upside down smooth quartz slab moving towards you from it, and then if you're looking at it again, it'll be right, just a regular smooth quartz slab like so. I want to say it just says power on this one, but I could be wrong. I forget a little bit. Direct your attention to the front wall, and we're going to go through each of them, and really only the right one is special. From the top left-hand corner of the 3 by 2 rectangle of smooth quartz, we're going to ignore the top block because it's open on all of them. You'll take this left one and place a mangrove plank. Right of it, a slab. Below that slab, an upside down slab, and then right of that upside down slab, a plank. On each other one, you're just taking this top row of the 3 smooth quartz, and you're placing some block across it. On this one, it's yellow. Next one to the left, it's light blue. Then yellow again, and then I use mangrove planks on this one, just so it's different, because the yellow and the light blue are different from the cyan and yellow terracotta, and so I figured I'd 1, keep it different, and 2, keep it the same as the far right. Off each of these, except for the far right one, obviously, you'll place a smooth quartz slab in front of the left and right blocks, and then in front of the middle one, you want an upside down smooth quartz slab to kind of create these little squiggly lines. And those are the names. I forget the names. It's like, obviously, Lath Pierre is one of them. Stella Graber, Elliot Ludwig, that's the important one I should have said, but whatever. Those are the 3 I can remember off the top of my head. I don't particularly recall very well. That's pretty much the room done. There's a couple minor things with the ceiling we have to do, but other than that, like, it's done. So, clear your inventory, and again, keep the structure voids in your inventory, and get out. End rods. Dark oak trapdoors. Levers. Polished deep slate slabs. A creeper head. And then we're going to, I guess, get stuff for the next hallway over. You need polished diorite again. Light blue concrete. And then we're just going to get sea lanterns and black concrete for now. So in this room, we're going to start from the, again, electrical door here on the left side of the power door. I'm going to keep calling it electrical because it's an electrical room. I'm not wrong. Just kind of above where these slabs are here for the logo, you'll look up and just place going down 2 end rods from either of these blocks. And then a dark oak trapdoor down from there. In the rough center of the room, you will have a lever light. Now, lever light is such a weird way to describe it. Essentially, I'm going to take either of these yellow from the game station door, and I'll count from the stripboard hyphae to the 7th one out. So 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. And I'll place an end rod off either kind of block there. So they should be 1 block apart from each other. I will make sure they're flicked so they're towards each other, and then I'll have an end rod in the middle, which I'll crouch place off either one of them. It doesn't really matter which one. And then I'll just make sure that I have that right, which I do. Because actually, behind this, you'll take the 3rd stripboard hyphae row behind it, and just place upside down polished deep slate slabs off only the 3 blocks that the lever is kind of taking for now. You'll extend it to the left by 7 then. And then connect it all the way to the front into the yellow terracotta. There is one more which also kind of abruptly stops. It's to the right of the game station door. You'll just take the 3rd block over here on the red or its netherrack, whichever one you have it as. You'll just go out with 13 upside down polished deep slate slabs. Which will get you to the end of the door here on the right side, funnily enough. There is a creeper head in this room. If you head over to the doorway on the right here, you'll count out to the second yellow terracotta and place a creeper head just kind of roughly diagonally facing towards the opening like so. I want to say that's Cat B again, but I could be wrong. I'm not sure. You want to head to the other side of this door here on the right. However you want to go about this. I'm going to go into electro mode and just crawl under it because that's funner. That's a word. You want to take the outermost yellow terracotta on either side and just go out with... It doesn't have to be too many. I just have it as 10 light blue concrete from either of these. And then I have... Okay, well I don't have the wall material. That's cool. I'll bring the polished diorite though all the way to the end as well. And then you get rid of anything except for the final 3 materials in your inventory, I guess, and get out smooth coarse blocks. I'll get rid of the polished diorite. And you'll just bring the light blue here on each side up with 5 rows of smooth quartz. At least that's what I did. It doesn't have to be 5 exactly, but it's up to you. A lot of this isn't visible anyway, which is why I'm kind of just saying this is what you could do. Because, you know, it doesn't matter. Okay. I would really love to place that row properly. Thanks though, guys. I'd appreciate it. And then I'm filling in both the ceiling and the back wall, just kind of a block outside of these walls in with black concrete. Again, it is really just up to your own interpretation, how you end up going about doing this. But yeah, you can perfectly follow me, because I'm not particularly being that vague either. And I guess it may be recommended to, out of the 2 rows here that you have, just to kind of break this bottom row of the wall pattern, because it's not visible anyway. It's the row of cyan that's there. And then, like, what is it, 3 blocks off the back, or 4? 4 blocks off of the back black concrete wall. I have just a little bit of a 2-block sea lantern in the center here. Is that even 4 off? That's 3 off, isn't it? Yeah. Just 2 blocks in the center, like so. I think that's all you can do. Might be recommended to texture the floor now, which is the, you know, red concrete and yellow terracotta, before we focus on anything else. This isn't too big of an area either, so I'll just, I guess, do it a little bit better than what I have been for literally anything else. There we go. Something like that. Okay, I guess I can't do that. Clear your inventory again, and then you'll get out red nether bricks, a zombie head, and just a singular yellow candle. I don't know what it's doing, but yeah, and we might have time to even start the... And I guess calcite, actually, you need to texture the walls, but we might have time to start that room over there. The calcite in this room is actually the inverse. It's just like a couple blocks kind of on the bottom 2 rows of smooth quartz, so just kind of add a little bit of texture, because it wouldn't be visible at the top anyway, so there's no point in doing it there. For the red nether brick, if you're looking towards the back, you want to start under the door where I am and just break the rightmost polished diorite. You'll break back diagonally left 1, back 1, back diagonally left 2, right 1, back diagonally right 1, right 1, and then forward diagonally right 1, along with everything in the center here. And then from the back right hand corner, you'll break 2 forward, left 1, forward diagonally left 1, and then back diagonally left by 2, which again you'll break the middle. Fill in the gaps we just made in with red nether brick, which I don't know why this hallway is especially bad. I feel like this is one of the worst ones. Although it's not on the walls, so that's something. From the frontmost red nether brick on the backmost pile, you'll place a yellow candle to the left. Left of that, you'll have a zombie head facing backward. And I think this is, again, Boogiebot. I got his name right this time. I know it's Boogiebot, because I remember... Was it chapter 4 or 3 when I was... It was one of the chapters when I was playing it. I remember seeing it. And there's your main room done. We might as well lay out the electrical room, since we have about 5 minutes left before I, technically speaking, have to call it, but you want to start by really just getting out stone and andesite walls. That's all I'll go with, and head into the power door. We're going to start in line with the polished diorite, I guess, and you'll place a stone just kind of on either side here from the doorway. you'll go out on either side by 5. Gotta know it's symmetrical. And then you'll extend left from that point by, I sure love really big numbers. It's not actually that big. You'll go back by 18, or I guess over by 18. And then I'd connect together here at the left. If you're looking at the room from the angle I am, we want to have the doorway be considered on the right side, because in either right corner you want an andesite wall, and then on the really first 2 stone off either side of the doorway, you'll also have a couple of andesite walls like so. You want those rows of 2 replicated on the left side, however you don't want the corners, so essentially they're just going to be 2 blocks apart, and I will just kind of measure that, and I see there's 3 stone on either side, which is correct. From the back left-hand corner, though, you will end up having the right 3 stone open, and then you'll just have 2 andesite walls from there. This is my lowest hanging room, so it kind of depends how much you want to bring it down. I'll start with up, though, because up makes a little bit more sense. We'll go up with 8 rows of stone. Just like so. Wait, did I? That's fine. We'll just do 8. When you do the 8th, though, make sure you, or I guess when you do the top ones, make sure you connect above the top of the doorway there. And then I'll hit you with, like, one more thing, really. Before this. I don't want to bring it down just yet, because the down part is kind of like a however many you want to feel like doing. But I have it pretty far down. I might not even give you an actual number, though, because it might end up being based off of the like gray stained glass anyway. I'll tell you where that starts and how many rows of that I have, and then you can figure that one out. I don't know, that's a part 8 problem, not a part 7 problem. But anyway, almost there. Almost, come on. Man, walls are walls, yes. Walls are annoying to fill in sometimes. Especially when they're just plain stone like this. Actually, I guess it's easier to just fill it in with a blank block rather than add some absurd texturing. This is not a directional block. There we go. I kind of said 8, although it should have technically been 7, because just in line with the top row of stone you're filling in the ceiling, I normally do end up having the, like, have it above a row, but I just kind of did not for some reason. I've kind of zoned out. Because I'm so used to counting the corners, too, so it is what it is, but you just want the ceiling filled in. Just like so. And then to bring all the andesite walls also just up to the top here, which is however many. I guess that number doesn't matter, but, you know, and then we'll kind of get this started. The texturing in this room is weird. It does not end up being the same as any of the other, like, stone-walled rooms, although it is pretty good, I think. It's kind of LN2-esque. Anyway, though, once you're done that, ladies and gentlemen, that is part 7 of your Poppy Playtime Chapter 2 tutorial complete. Thank you guys for guys did enjoy this video. Have a fantastic rest of your day or night, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.